Well, what is going on with the F12? We got her stripped apart, boys. If you watched in the last video, we were having a bunch of tuning issues with the F12. At the very end of the video, after messing with carb, CVT, pretty much everything on the scooter, I came up with the thought that maybe it's the reeds in this thing. And I was like, you know what, maybe I can't tune this thing and it's being so off and has all these problems because there's a problem with the reeds. Boy, I think I was right. Look in this reed, and look at the gap it has. Definitely tell this way. See how that reed is not sitting flush with the block? Look. And then this one is sitting flush. That little gap right there is a huge deal. Look at the gap in there. That is no good, boys. That's not the worst I've seen, but that could definitely cause some issues. What we did, because we liked it so much on my pre-bug, on my blue one, was I got a top performance vforce carbon reeds yet again. It is usually a bigger port and a bigger stuffer, so I'll probably come through and match it to the intake. So I'll take a Dremel and match it like I did last time, but we will see right now when I crack this thing open. But these reeds made a huge difference on my blue pre-bug. If you haven't yet, go watch the video when I did that. I'll link it right here. I was pretty amazed at the performance and everything. Like, I hope that changing these reeds could be a big game changer on the F12. Look at all that you can match the material with to this actual reed stuffer. So I think the biggest one on the Stage6 is like a 26, and I think this is like maybe a 28. So we opened it up now, and it's pretty much no lip. Smooth it all out around the edges. Oh, I think we got to get rid of this lip too, if I remember right. So I'll come in here and I'll cut this lip off, because on the pre-bug the manifold sticks out. On this, it's gonna go straight onto the case, and there's nowhere for this lip on this little top performance logo to sit. So you gotta cut that off, then we'll Honda bond everything on. All right, just threw the seat on. We got our Stage6 intake back in there. Just got our carb, the CP one on there. No more smart carb on here. And we got our air filter on now. So I just started it up. It sounds pretty good. It sounds a lot different than it used to. And let's go ride this thing and find out. I feel like we're still gonna have a bit of an issue. I think a lot of it's gonna be CVT on this, but I just want to test it directly with just the vforce reeds compared to how it was, and see if there's any difference. And then I think I'm gonna come in and lighten the rollers a lot too. All right, boys. Damn. It still has a very draggy pull to it. You can hear how it winds up. Yeah, we got lighten the rollers in this thing. I have an OVERRANGE kit from my pre-bug that I've been thinking about. Maybe we should put that on the F12. Put a regular kit on the pre-bug and put the OVERRANGE on here. I feel like this bike would need it more than any other bike. Pretty fast though. I had 3 4.5s and I had 3 5s in there. I just made it all 4 5s. So we lightened it by 1.5 grams. We're gonna see if that made any difference at all. Oh, it's way faster now. See that slug? What is that? Alright, boys, it is time to do one more thing to the F12. We're going OVERRANGE CVT on this thing. So we just pulled the OVERRANGE out of my red Zuma, which is over here, Stage6 OVERRANGE kit. I didn't really want it in the pre-bug, and I've seen a lot of people commenting saying that a lot of my issues with the F12 could be the need of an OVERRANGE kit. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I'm definitely willing to try. So we took it out of the pre-bug, which wasn't doing any good in there, and we're gonna put it in the F12, which seems to make more logical sense. We're going overrange on this one. So there's a few things we have to do in order to do the overrange kit. Make clearance on the cases and on my gearbox cover. Now we have the Polini gearbox cover on this, so I already know that's gonna be more of an issue. But just for an idea, this is where it clearance down here. You can see it was actually rubbing a little bit on the belt, but there's some clearance going on there, a little bit in here, and a little bit on the back here on the gearbox. Doesn't look like it rubs anywhere on the actual pulley in the back. Let's see where we're gonna have to clearance everything on the motor. But the gear cover actually looks like it lines up perfect. Given that it's, you can see on the Polini gear cover how it's all flat back there, and it has this groove right here. What looks to be, that is exactly perfect size for an overrange kit. So we might have just took a W, but we're definitely gonna have to clearance a lot of these little pieces out on the engine itself. Look at how close all those are to rubbing. The belt wouldn't even fit in there right now. Alright, I've been sitting here with the Dremel trying to clearance, well obviously I took all this off when I was doing it, but I'm trying to clearance these little spots. You get a clearance down here for the belt to fit. As you can see, I still need to go a little bit more, especially up top. It's rubbing on the back side back there. I just took a light and actually found exactly where my situation is. Problem is, I keep breaking off my Dremel tips. With that being said, I have a little bit more to do and then we're done. Clearancing. Gotta get this little lip pushed back a little bit more. And these are all good flat wise. I just gotta get it where the flatness goes back to about here now. So finally, we are all clearanced out. Most importantly up here. This was the hardest one to get to. And as you can see on the back side, we got all that room now. It's still a little close up there, but the belt shouldn't sit any higher than that. I'll still go through and touch that up. Bottom, we got really good. Roughly go through and just quickly just get a little bit more right above and below the pulley. After that, clean her all up, because now this thing is just covered in metal shavings just everywhere. So clean all that fun stuff off, and then we'll be able to throw it all together. Alright, we got a brand new Polini clutch, a Polini speed adjustable clutch to throw in on the F12. I was going to throw it in on my pre-bug, but I ended up taking the Stage6 clutch that was on the F12, putting that on my pre-bug, and putting the Polini one with our overrange kit. So we got the blue springs in. Supposedly these blue springs, which is weird because it came with two springs that were blue, but these ones are a lighter color, these ones are a darker color. But supposedly these are the stiffest springs, going off this little instruction manual that's inside of here. It's stating blue is the highest. Original being down here, black, green, yellow, blue is the highest. But there's two different color blues. These ones were already on there, so I'm going to try them. I put them at like midway tightened out. I'm going to swap off this malossi clutch, which we currently have on our overrange setup. Has Stage6 stiff spring in there. So swap the clutches. I just swapped the rollers in here. It had 6 5s in it, and I put 5 5s all around. Stage6 rollers, and we'll slap it all in the F12, and that'll be our overrange setup, boys. Also, Stage6 bell now. Overrange setup, all in here now. And we clearanced it, and you can't really tell right now because of the low light, but we clearanced it all, and she's spinning. Oh, I spun the wrong way. She's spinning freely with no rubbing. So that's a good sign, boys. It is time to test the F12. So overrange kit is all in there. The only problem is I don't have any difference in jetting, and I'm pretty sure this thing wants some smaller jets. The hottest I've seen it get is 300 degrees, and that was after a long pull. So we're gonna see right now after putting the overrange if I ain't changing that, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna need to down jet it because this thing's running too rich. Alright, so after I put the overrange in, I rode it. I just didn't have my GoPro, but I realized the weights were way too heavy in it with those 5 5s. So I put 3 3 5s and 3 5 5s in it. I didn't have anything besides 3 5s as the smaller weights, so I didn't want to run all 3 5s, so it was like my next best bet. But I still think we can go lighter on the weights. But listen to this thing in the mid-range. We're going 30 right now. 40, 45, 50. It's not even hitting 12K on the RPM still, which is crazy to me. See, that was full pin. And 310 seems to be the highest temp. I should have filmed it. When I had those 5.5s in it, it was like so boggy. It's insane how much it improved right now. This thing likes to pick up at like 25, it's crazy. I love hearing those straight cut gears winding. So this is with the OVERRANGE kit. We saw some top speed, but we can't see past 60. I think we probably hit about maybe 70, maybe. And this thing should have a little bit more to it, honestly. Woo! Damn, this thing comes back quick now. It is totally different now with the OVERRANGE on. It likes it way more. It's weird because I rode the pre-bug a little bit too. So when I put the kit from this on, I put it on the pre-bug, and the pre-bug was way better. And I put the OVERRANGE on here, and now this one's way better. So that was a good trade-off. That was nice too, because I didn't have to pay for this OVERRANGE kit. I think this OVERRANGE kit's like $400. Wow, this thing's crazy different now. I almost want to put all those other 3.5s on just to see. This is just a heavy scooter, man. That mid-range is pretty nuts though. We're gonna drop another 6 gram total weight in the variator right now. It's gonna be a lot different. So we're going 45. You hit it at any miles per hour, it just starts pulling. Look at that. Wow, dude. This thing got a lot faster since we added those vforces and this OVERRANGE. I think it was majority of the OVERRANGE, but the vforce makes it feel nasty. You can just feel it. It breathes. Dude, this thing's ripping now. This thing does like 70 and just, once it hits about like 65, you can hear it almost hits like another power band, starts pulling harder. We're gonna hit a quick change right now on these roller weights. Let's see what happens. We might just ruin it right now, but I'd be curious. Oh my, you saw that bolt just fall into my cover? Taking that cover off like 100 times in the last 2 days. Can't bother to put half the bolts in now. Ooh, that motherfucker is hot. Man. Alright. All 3.5 grams. This should be interesting. It has a totally different even sound to it now. Look at that thing. God damn. Oh man. Revving a lot now. So now we're in a tricky spot. We're pretty much all the way you can get on belt fitment in the back, so we're getting as much as we can out of the bottom end of the belt. It definitely has a little bit more bottom end. Like, look at that thing. But I think we lost some top end now, boys. I don't think it has enough oomph to carry it in the top end without the heavier rollers now. This is when we blow the bike up. With the single ring stage 6 cylinder that's in here. God damn, that thing is snappy now though. Oh man. It almost feels like a little belt slip right there. I don't know, but this is the best that the F12's ever felt, that's for sure. So Little round of applause right here for the F12, because this is a dude, like this thing's a ripper right now. It has never felt like this in the history of all the videos. Like this is a heavy bike for it to be pulling the front wheel up like that without me actually pulling back. Like, look at that, how jumpy it is. It's coasting right now. This thing feels really good. Like, look at this. It's just that that's where we could tune out the carb. You hear that where it hits the carb a little different? I'm gonna have to order some jets though, because a lot of the stuff this bike wants is stuff I do not have, because this bike has no tune unlike any of my other bikes, just the way it's set up. It's unlike any of my other bikes, so. Look at this thing now though, bro. Just, oh, slam that front end down. Now, we're getting closer to dialing this thing in. Just a little bit more carb work, I feel like, and this thing could be a 10 out of 10 right now, so. But look at that. It just picks that front end. Even at 40, it just pops up. Wow, does this thing feel good now, bro? You seen that coast? Come on now. This thing literally picks up at like 50, bro. That's insane, bro. For this heavy of a bike, you don't understand. Like, a pre-bug is totally different. You can almost pop a pre-bug up if you just slam your ass down hard enough. This is a big bike. It might not look like it, but those who've run an F12 know this is pretty big. Now, I know people are gonna say the Galera 180 or whatever. Obviously, that's a little bigger, but that's 180 cc's. This is 70 cc's, and it's pulling the front end up like that. I'm proud of this thing now, man. We're finally feeling the F12. Look at that. 12.7 is our highest. I think this cylinder can rev to like 15. Stage 6 single ring aluminum bore with a C16. Dude, it almost ripped the bike out of my hands right there. I was not paying attention. We'll hit a little 30 and then we'll pull. So 30, 40, 50, 60. Oh, sketch. Oh yeah, we're going like 70 easily right now. That had to be 13K rev. Well, I almost think we hit almost 13K. Alright boys, we gotta, these brakes suck, look at that. That might be an upgrade in the future for this thing. Oh my god. Dude, that thing is gnarly now. F12 is a different beast now. Oh my god, dude, the OVERRANGE kit, it took away all those little issues. The reeds were a big factor also, because that thing was just untunable at first. Everything I did to the bike, no matter what, with the old reeds, it would still act the same. But now, this thing is a different bike right now, and it has literally 3.5 gram roller weights in. That's the lightest I've ever ran in any bike I've ever built. I didn't have everything I needed to tune this bike fully, but what we just threw in this bike, it's already, I could see the light at the end of the tunnel right now. This bike is an absolute ripper. We just easily did a 75 mile per hour pull, which is probably the fastest I've gone on this bike, and I think this bike probably has the potential to do about 85. I think we can up the gears and see a little bit more. We can also add, you know, up the roller weights and kind of gear it more for a top end, but right now it's such a good mid and low. It's weird because I set it up kind of like a mid and low, but I have a really top endy pipe on it, so maybe we should change the C16 pipe on it. Also, one thing I might want to do in the future on this thing is put a disc brake on the rear. There is another minarelli engine for the F12 that comes with the disc brake rear. It's usually the water-cooled version. Sadly, I did not get that version. I got the air-cooled one. Maybe we can source a case for the disc brake one, also have a whole water-cooled setup for it, or maybe we'll just throw a water-cooled cylinder on it next. I feel like we might eventually blow this cylinder up, but wow. The F12 is a complete game changer right now, and I can't wait to see what else we can do with this thing. But that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you guys are stoked on this. I got a ton of comments asking to do an overrange setup on one of my bikes, so I'm stoked we got to throw it in on here, plus the reeds. F12, I am proud of you, boy. I cannot wait till the next time. See you guys in the next one.